News coming in from the Kashmir Valley. PDP chief Mehbooba Mufti is claiming she's been put under house arrest. Mehbooba Mufti had said, "I've been put under an illegal house arrest." This is ahead of the verdict on Article 370 abrogation at the Supreme Court. She has shared these photographs and from her social media handle she's claiming that this is basically the Jammu and Kashmir PDP social media handle stating, even before the judgment is pronounced, police have sealed the doors of the residence of PDP President Mehbooba Mufti, putting her under illegal house arrest. Remember, there have been some precautionary measures that have been taken in the Kashmir Valley, but this is also again about PDP chief claiming that this is a house arrest for her, that there have been locks and barricades put in front of her gate, which is at the entry, which is the Gupka Road, the VIP Road. And we'll be going across for the latest on this. Kamaljeet Sandhu and Ashraf Wani continue to be with us. Kamaljeet, first to you now, because this, remember, is the claim that Mehbooba Mufti is saying that she has been put under an illegal house arrest. What are you hearing from the Kashmir Valley? Have there been some precautionary measures that have been put in by the security agencies with this regard?
Well, we haven't heard from security agencies, but as a precautionary measure, we've seen in the past several of the leaders were put under precautionary house arrest. Now, the claim made by Mehbooba Mufti is not new. Over the past few years, especially since August 5, 2019, where they were under house arrest for several months. Now coming on a big day like the verdict on abrogation of Article 370, a claim being made by the PDP through its official handle. This actually goes to show that there seems to be some tension which is simmering. But when we were speaking to security agencies, they were saying largely things are under control. The internet speed may be lowered down just to ensure, remember, there were a couple of detentions and arrests which were made, at least 8 of them just a few days ago, just to ensure that there were not any sort of anti-national comments or trying to provoke or inflame the situation in Kashmir, which continues to be sensitive. Meanwhile, we haven't seen much, and we've also heard from Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who said not a single case of stone pelting has happened since the abrogation of Article 370. Mehbooba Mufti at one point of time had claimed that there would be rivers of blood, once the abrogation is done.
I remember that comment that Mehbooba Mufti had said. Kamaljeet, stay on with me. Ashraf Wani also is joining us. Ashraf, what are you hearing about the claims by Mehbooba Mufti and basically the PDP stating that Mehbooba Mufti has been put under an illegal house arrest?
Pooja, we have not confirmed it from our sources, but it could be the case because we have seen during last 1 year specifically when Mehbooba Mufti was released from his long house detention after the abrogation of Article 370. PDP is the only party in Jammu and Kashmir which has come on roads against the Jammu and Kashmir state administration as well as against the government on different issues, including on the Article 370. So it is predicted that probably if some verdict comes against the will of the Jammu and Kashmir People's Democratic Party or Mehbooba Mufti, she may try to bring her workers on the roads to protest against that. That is why this precautionary measure could have been taken by the Jammu and Kashmir police. And it is not first time that these precautionary measures are being taken by the Jammu and Kashmir police and state administration to avoid any kind of law and order situation here in the valley. Earlier we have seen also when Mehbooba Mufti was trying to visit some places, particularly on the militancy-related issues, she was being detained at home, or we can say house arrested. Yesterday also the former Chief Minister Umar Abdullah claimed that some of his party workers had been put under detention ahead of this important verdict in Supreme Court.
Keep tracking, Ashraf, keep tracking the latest coming in from the Kashmir Valley on your screens right now. That's the live stream from the Apex Court. The judges, the 5-judge bench, about to take their seats, and we'll be tracking all the latest. It's a big moment, as much for Jammu and Kashmir, but for the decision that's been taken, but for the rest of the country as well. I want to now have on our screens our reporters tracking the latest. Ashraf Wani, of course, is in Kashmir Valley. Kamaljeet Sandhu is today in Jammu, while Anisha Mathur is at the court right now, the court premises. Anisha, when are we expecting the verdict that is set to be delivered? And just take us through the procedure. What happens? Will it be the CJI who will start to read out the verdict? And that is when it will become clear if this is a unanimous or a split verdict.
Well, Pooja, to answer your question, we're waiting for the bench to assemble. It has not yet assembled. It's 10:34 by the clock right now. It seems that the bench is assembling a little bit later today. There also seems to be a little bit of a tech issue with the video conferencing in the Supreme Court at the moment. But the bench has yet to assemble. At the moment, we know that it is likely to be a unanimous verdict because the notice that is put in the Supreme Court cause list with regard to the judgment details simply says Constitution bench verdict. Normally it gives details of which judges will be reading out their verdict. So the speculation at the moment at least is that it could be a unanimous verdict, but source information
speculation cannot be made. Yes. Anisha, I just want to take you through, help the viewers, take us to the background. To the background of the hearings that had happened, both from the petitioner side and also that of the government. What was the reasoning government had given in a few key points, and what had the petitioners said? Why were they opposing Article 370 abrogation?
Well, Pooja, the issue that has been raised before the Supreme Court, 23 petitions, 11 of which are pro-abrogation, 12 of which are anti-abrogation of Article 370. Remember, some of these petitions have been filed back in 2014, where the women's groups, the refugee groups, etc., had said that Article 35A of the Jammu Kashmir Constitution discriminates against their right to be considered full equal citizens also have access to property, also have access to government jobs, etc. While that matter was pending before the Supreme Court in 2019 on 5th August, when this decision was taken by the central government, by the President of India, then a series of petitions were filed in the Supreme Court challenging the abrogation of Article 370 on the grounds that the process that was followed is constitutionally invalid. Now remember, nobody is saying that Article 370 could not have been abrogated in the first place. What the petitioners have argued is that the centre could not have done it, that only the elected legislature of Jammu and Kashmir could have done it, because the Article 370 was a recognition of the agreement between the erstwhile Dogra kingdom and the government of India.
Yes.
On the other hand, the government of India said that instrument of accession and Article 370, the entire legality shifted to the Parliament of India after the official accession of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, and that is why it is the Parliament and the President which did have the right to take such a decision.